Hello, everyone, and welcome in. Today is Friday, February 2nd. It's Groundhog Day, so evidently it looks like an early spring for us, although I've heard that Punxsutawney Phil is wrong like 60% of the time, so who knows about that. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump in and see what messages want to come through today for you from the Divine Spirit, God, your guides. And we'll go ahead and start with a few cards that apparently that one wanted to come out. A few cards for the collective in general, and then I will be looking at the individual zodiac groupings. So you can look in the description box for the links to your individual grouping. Also, I did have the reads by grouping for the first half of February. Those have posted within the last day or so, so make sure to check those out as well. All right, let's see what is coming through. So our jumper card that we had was this one. It was Seven of Wands in reverse. We have that one. Then we have the Eight of Cups. We have the Five of Cups in reverse. And then we'll grab one more. And the Moon. So the one that jumped out was this kind of burned out energy. Our Seven of Wands in reverse, that's definitely that sense of like weakness and burnout. It also has to do with surrender. So it's kind of like if you feel like you've been struggling for a really long time and you're just burned out, it's pushed you to the point of surrender. So not necessarily to be taken as a, oh, I'm just giving up on life. I'm giving up on everything. It's being able to look at this and say, okay, I'm turning this over to the divine. I have trust, I have confidence that even if I'm not happy with what's happening right now, I understand that everything is in my life for a reason. There's lessons in everything. Everything is here to help me grow. I may not like it. I may not like the way it feels. I may not like the way people in my field or in my experience are interacting with me, but I know that it's for my good and it's for my healing and for my moving forward. The Eight of Cups energy, there's a little bit of that too. There's it's like that sense of letting go and kind of also a sense of maybe abandonment, like, all right, I'm letting go of what's not working and I have to stop trying to control everything so much and just let things play out the way they're going to. The Five of Cups, this is kind of this in reverse. It's kind of this moving on type of energy. So, turning that corner and accepting the fact that, okay, I can't control everything. And so I need to move on from trying to do that. So that's that surrender part, surrendering to the universe. It's not, oh my gosh, leave me alone. It's okay. I'm putting that burden aside. I will let, God carry that burden. I'll let the divine carry it and I will move forward on my best path, my best timeline. The other card that we had came out was the Moon. So this is this card represents, sometimes it's like your subconscious or unconscious. It also has to do with lies and deceit and kind of trickery, like what's happening by the dark of night that you're not aware of. So sometimes this is either how somebody's interacting with you is in a deceitful, sneaky manner, or it could be what are the lies that you're telling yourself? What are the things that you're not being honest with yourself about? So it can mean either one, but based on this spread with the other cards that have been coming through, here, I'll pull these down so they can kind of still be in the edge of the picture. It feels more like it's somebody else that wasn't being honest with you. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what is in store today for each of the individual signs or individual groupings. Today, let's start with our earth signs. So that's going to be our Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What messages want to come through for you for today? The Magician. So this is about transforming lead into gold. It's about how do you transmute these heavy energies and push through them. So a lot of it, when it's this sense of letting go and moving on and accepting, some of that is that transformational energy. It's, I've been sitting here in this stuck situation. I've been trying to control it. I've been, oh, well, if I do this, then this will happen. If I do this, then maybe I can shift it and mold it. And that magician energy is saying, I'm done sinking my energy into low vibe situations. I'm going to take that, process it, and turn it around into a learning lesson. Be appreciative of the lesson, and then turning that corner and moving on. With the gold here and the gold of the moon, it can also be about, I'll say transforming those lies. If you've been, maybe a situation has lies on both sides of the fence, and understanding that, okay, you can't, force somebody to change but you can't keep lying to yourself about it either. You need to be honest with yourself about whatever the situation is. If it's family situation, friends, job, romantic relationships. There's 2 jumper cards in here. You have grief and denial. So I would say denial is the big one that you need to work on transforming. So denial about a certain situation, and like with that burnout. So the denial being, if I just stay a little bit longer, if I just work a little bit harder, if I just do this, then the situation will change. And that, that sort of energy is shifting for you, because at some point, having faith in the divine, that maybe if you've been trying and this isn't resolving, it's because you're not the one that's meant to resolve it. You need to take a different approach. You need to take a step back, let the divine, let the other parties involved, work on changing that dynamic. So for denial, it says, I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. And so that kind of goes along with that whole idea of not continuing to just keep doing the same thing over and over and hoping to get different results. Once you become aware of what that pattern is and how your interactions with that pattern have or have not changed it, once you become aware of it, then you can step back and see the lessons a little better. The other card is grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. And so with that, it's not necessarily the regretful appreciating it. So if it's losing a job, for example, it's not like when it's saying, oh, it gives you the chance to appreciate it, where then you're sitting there on the other side, jobless, going, oh, I didn't appreciate what a good thing I had when I had it. But you can appreciate the lessons that it taught you. So keep in mind that can also be part of what it's talking about when it's saying appreciating it. All right, let's take a look at, this is I think it's a Sea Journey Oracle. And this says, pause. May moments of calm sustain you. So you don't have to be going, go, go, go. And it's kind of this whole thing with this exhaustion, burnout, these cards from earlier, where you have this sense of, exhaustion because of the fact that you had been trying so hard and now you're kind of letting it go. So pause, lay down that burden, and focus on you and your happiness and what is it that you're looking to accomplish in your life. When you're laying there on your deathbed thinking about, what do I wish I would have done? What do I wish I would have done differently? What experiences do I wish that I would have had that I never did? And try to think in those terms, and how can I bring some of that into my life right now? Your hard work will pay off. So that it will be tough, growth and change can be tough, but you have to have the confidence that it will pay off. So that's kind of the whole surrendering to the divine, to say, I'm putting it in your hands and I know it'll pay off. It may not be in the manner that I've concocted in my mind, but know that it will pay off. All right, so that was for our earth signs. Next is our water signs. And that is going to be our Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You have the sun. So this is that optimism, blessings, and all of that coming in. So it looks like the whole walking away from something and moving on from something that has just exhausted you is bringing you that sense of peace and optimism. So the other thing is, the sun and the moon kind of balance each other out, in the circle of days type of thing. So you can appreciate the sun when the moon comes out. And you know, you kind of have that natural cycle. So having both of those cards, kind of the idea of something has come full circle, a cycle has run its course. You know, if you feel like you're in the dark of night right now, the sun is coming up. The blessings and the optimism and the joy are coming in. Oops. Okay. That just shot out like 4 or 5 cards. So if it's 1 or 2, sometimes 3, I'll take it. But if it's a whole stack, just keep shuffling them. Patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order. So this is part of that message of when you surrender to the divine. You can't do it with the, okay, I'm surrendering, and then you're sitting there like 4 hours later checking your watch like, okay, are we going to see movement? Like, what's happening? What's happening? So you have to have the patience that the timing will work out as it should. I was watching this really interesting video by Matt Kahn, and it was talking about respect being kind of the missing element on your healing journey. And he was talking about with patience and timing is, you know, the universe puts struggle in there to slow you down because you are not ready yet for what's coming in next. So if you're sitting here thinking, oh, well, I want to manifest the love of my life or the job of my dreams, and it hasn't come in yet, have patience, because there's something you're supposed to be learning or doing now to prepare you for that. So rather than being annoyed and irritated with the universe, look at it like, what do I need to be doing now? Like, why does the universe think I'm not ready for this yet? What else can I learn? This card says, heard. May your brave call be carried on the wind. So if there's something that you need help with, then ask for help. Ask your guides. Ask your soul tribe for help. Okay, so the card that flipped is, they aren't who you think they are. And that definitely, you know, from a vibe perspective, is going here. There we go. That the lies in your situation, water signs, the lies are coming from somebody else. And, you know, you're getting exhausted with it and kind of moving on, which you will be getting clearer messages. And with the optimism, joy, blessings coming in, you'll be able to see things a little bit clearer on the other side. All right, and we'll pull a card since that was a jumper card. It says, you're stronger than you realize. So you are stronger. Ask for help. You're stronger, and things will work out for you. You'll see your blessings and your joy and your abundance coming in. So that was for our water signs. Now let's move on to our air signs, which is our Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And let's see what message wants to come through for you for today. Strength. So it looks like this whole scenario, this overriding energy is a challenge for you. Something you've been probably thinking about or trying to work through for quite some time. And that's why you've gotten to such a point of frustration and burnout, is you've been working on it for so long. Have the strength, though, and the courage to say, okay, I can make it through this. And again, the whole thing of, surrendering to the divine and letting go and saying, if whatever situation is the one that weighs on your mind, like when I was turning over these cards, what immediately came to mind when I was talking about, like, you're kind of worn out, you're exhausted, this point of feeling like weakness, immediately something probably popped into your mind of, oh, that situation. So in that situation, have strength that it's getting there. You're making more progress than you realize. And sometimes if you're having trouble seeing the progress that you've made, and it can help to look back and say, okay, how would I have handled this situation, and pick some period of time depending on how long the situation's been going on for you. Like, how would I have handled this 3 months ago or 6 months ago or a year ago? And you'll be able to see how far you've come. And sometimes that can help motivate you. Again, that was a big stack. That can help motivate you and keep you going. All right. Death. I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. So this is something that if you're kind of surrendering and backing away, the death part could be the ending of the way you're thinking about it. So if you've been somebody who's been trying to control a situation, trying to steer it in this direction or that direction, it could be the death of that you finally got to the point of saying, you know what, I'm just going to let it do what it's going to do, and we'll see how it goes. It could be the end of, a job for you. It could be like that sort of change. But usually the death card in the tarot is more about changes rather than tower moments of massive upheavals of stability and structures. So that seems to be more of a shift in philosophies, I guess. Strength. May you extend your, stretch. Sorry, I misread that. I thought it said strength. It says stretch. May you extend your reach. So this can be with some of it like your Five of Cups in reverse, like turning the corner. How are you stretching yourself? How are you, expanding your connections? How are you challenging yourself and pushing yourself to live in your highest timeline? And sometimes that might be tough, and that could be part of it. Could be just sitting in that energy of strength and saying, no, I am getting burned out. I am pushing back and letting divine take the reins. Having strength against somebody or some situation that's being dishonest with you, that's maybe tricking you. All right. They love you more than they're telling you. So, so that could be the other side of it. Maybe you're getting frustrated or burned out if somebody's playing games with you, and not necessarily that they're doing it maliciously. Maybe there's other situations in play, but it still takes strength to be able to say, hey, you know what, this situation has to adapt. And some of it, so, with this Seven of Wands in reverse, like this burnout, that's what I was noticing. The color of the toilet in there is matching up with this. So getting burned out or tired of whatever the situation is. So something needs to change for you. So with that coming up, it seems like for our air signs, it's a romantic relationship, or maybe like a family, very, very dear friend type of relationship. All right, so naturally I would have been moving on to our fire signs next, because that's the only one left. So the World was the card that came out as the jump card, but I will go ahead and pull another one as well, since that one flipped out of there. The Sun. The World and the Sun. So the World card, that's the very end of the major arcana. That's the last card. That's the wrapping up of the cycles. It's a lot of times it's kind of that, victory. So you're closing out whatever lesson. So if you're in this energy of being, burned out and tired, and, we have with our Eight of Cups and like letting go and just being like, all right, done, done. I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of just that feeling of, being exhausted, like butting heads. And this is kind of like accepting what can't change. So there is a certain element like accepting what can't change or what isn't going to change. Sometimes that takes some strength, but know that you're wrapping up that cycle and you're moving on to your blessings. Like the other part coming in is your blessings. It's that joy. It's that optimism. But it's kind of like, it seems like for the fire signs, there's been this cycle of, lies or trickery, and you've just had enough. You're done. You're tired of it, and realizing it's not going to change. It's just going to be the same thing, different day. and you're deciding to just let go and move on. All right. Self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and and others. So this is something that, you know, you do have a lot to share. You have gifts, you have light that you can share with the world. And if you're stuck chasing in circles on something else, and if all of your energy is being depleted in non-productive ways, you can't share your gifts with the rest of the world. You can't live that highest timeline. You can't be true to yourself if you're expending all this energy, you know, in a situation where there's lies, and, you know, then you just kind of keep trudging through that over and over. All right, let's take a look at our soul, or our sea journey. Love. May you dive deep into your passions. So that's, you know, and that's something that maybe you've been in a situation where you feel like you haven't gotten to do that as much as you would like. And that's something that can really help refill your bucket if you are able to kind of go diving into something that really makes you happy. Because obviously whatever this other situation is that's ending, or that you're deciding to stop trying to control so much, obviously that has been bleeding you dry, and this could be a good way to be able to, oh, hey, look at that with the sun, to be able to get your blessings, is to be able to dive into something that really lights up your soul. All right, and a last card here for you for fire signs. Let's see what's coming in. Don't confuse activity with accomplishment. So this is something, you know, in general, and I had a track coach that used to say that, don't confuse activity, or no, this was at work. They would say, don't confuse activity with accomplishment. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're actually doing anything. So, you know, if you're in whatever situation this was resonating, if you had been doing things and it's not getting better, don't think, oh, well, I'm you know, I'm trying, I'm doing all this, because you're not accomplishing anything. If the situation isn't changing, you're not accomplishing anything. So you're really not moving forward, no matter how much effort you're putting in, no matter how many this, that, and whatever you're contributing to that situation. If it's not improving, you're not accomplishing anything, and you're just spinning your tires. So I hope that you found today's reading to be helpful, and if this is a message you think somebody else could benefit from, I would welcome you to share it. There will be some other different types of videos posting over the next week on the channel, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe and notification if you want to be alerted when those new videos come out. Otherwise, I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time.